Maji kwa sasa nadhani muda umetupa kisogo pia naarifiwa kwamba kule kwenye ile kamati ya mahakama basi jaji mkuu ameanza anazungumza na wanahabari kuhusu mipangilio mizima ya uchaguzi mkuu. Kwa hivyo natumai tutakuwa tunavuka kule Serena, tulikuwa tunafaa kuwafungulia mashtaka hawa wawili lakini sidhani kama tutaweza, manake sasa jaji mkuu anazungumza kule na muda ndo huo haunasi. Nadhani itakuwa na kuaga kwa sasa kwa niaba ya mwenzangu Rashid Mwamkondo, mama Maliwaza, mimi ni Kamchemenza, lakini ujumbe unao kwamba tarehe 11 itakuwa ni mchango kwake Gibson Gadhumbugwa ambaye anahitaji upasuaji wa figo. Mtazamaji, tutakutakia kila laheri unavyoanza weekend yako. Mimi kutoka hapa sina la ziada hadi Ijumaa ijayo. Kwa heri.
Very exceptional way, and to say how indebted I am to each one of you, the JC committee led by the Honorable Mr. Justice Ibrahim Mohammed, Justice Musinga, our PJ, our judges, our members of the JCE. Allow me also to appreciate in a very special way our partners who have held our hand for many years. ICJ, I think, has completely become part of the judiciary family because they always hear where the gap is and they come in. And so are all our partners who have worked with us this journey. Our friends in media, the fourth estate, we recognize you also for the critical role you play in this country. Some of you, we have worked this journey for over 30 years. Masharia Gaido, Njiro, Njamila, all of you, whenever I see you, I see the face of Kenya, and I see that Kenya is in a good place because we have such patriotic people who look out for the best interests of Kenyans, and that is the fourth estate, the media. Keep up the good work. And thank you so much for attending this breakfast meeting. We in the judiciary always feel that we have to keep up to the mandate that we are given and the obligation to report to Kenyans what it is that we are doing, especially at this very critical time, realizing that we do not serve ourselves, we serve Kenyans, and we interface with Kenyans through the media. So the media are a critical stakeholders as far as the administration of justice is concerned. So, as has been said by all the speakers, the electoral process in Kenya is a high-pressure, competitive, and often emotive undertaking that has implications for state stability and our peaceful coexistence as a nation. And we have lived experiences on how we have almost tripped during elections because we conduct ourselves very well until when it is time for elections. Then there is violence, there is fear, there is tension. Therefore, it is important for us to keep coming together to check ourselves and see how prepared we are to ensure that all of us who are given the mandate of ensuring there is free, fair, and credible elections live to that mandate. We also value elections because it's a political process that brings the participation of the people in choosing the people to govern them. We are now embracing technology, and therefore we must always ask ourselves whether the technology that we are embracing is going to integrate with our electoral process in a way that there will be proper political mobilization so that we get people express their will. We've always said we have a very good constitution that gives each one of us one vote. It doesn't matter who we are or where we are. Our problem is getting that vote on the voting day, that vote properly counted, that vote properly transmitted. And I've always used the example of M-Pesa, whereby we are able to transact rapidly and all over the country, and we never make mistakes. And the question I've always asked is how we can also ensure the safety of our vote the same way we ensure the safety and credibility of the movement of our money through M-Pesa. So for us, preparedness by the various actors in the electoral process is an essential element of election management. This is also true for the EDR process, given their importance in a constitutional democracy like ours, where we aspire to transition from the use of violence as a means of resolving political conflict to the use of lawful means to resolve any conflict arising out of the electoral process. The preparedness activities by the judiciary are informed by our appreciation that unresolved electoral disputes not only create an environment of political mistrust and suspicion, but also seriously undermines the legitimacy of elections and the elected government. It is in this context that we have put in place this very important committee, JCE, to coordinate our preparedness as a judiciary to discharge our constitutional mandate. In all this, the JCE ensures that the courts are supported so that they can expeditiously and competently, also fairly, undo and determine all the electoral disputes. Fortunately for us, we have had the benefit of successfully undertaking electoral dispute resolution during the 2013 cycle and also the 2017 election cycles. We are building on the gains of the past two electoral cycles in our quests to develop an efficient and effective EDR process. Through this continuous improvement, we are building a culture of constitutionalism and the rule of law. Allow me again to recognize in a very, very special way the handwork and commend the JCE team led by the Honorable Mr. Justice Mohammed Ibrahim and Justice Daniel Musinga, and the entire membership of that committee for your commitment and foresight in ensuring that all the judiciary cadres, the magistracy, our researchers, the judges, and now we are retreating the next week as the Supreme Court to be prepared, all of us, and to even anticipate all the problems that we are likely to encounter when dealing with election disputes during this cycle, and to ensure that we are all coordinated through our secretariat. I note that, as explained by Judge Ibrahim in his remarks, the committee is implementing the work plan, which is almost accomplished within a very short duration, and within even the challenges that he has elicited, mostly the budgetary constraints. I'm confident that given the work accomplished so far, we are ready to handle all the NDR petitions optimally, including taking care of the anticipated scenario where we have an increase in the number of petitions compared to those launched in the previous NDR cycles. But in all this, we keep praying that the IBC will conduct elections in a way that engenders confidence of the people, so that the results that they announce will be accepted by many people, and that way we will have less disputes. The JCE undertook a review also of our laws, drawing lessons from the 2017 general election cycle. After that, they held debriefing workshops, developed a memorandum on areas of reforms touching on NDR, and engaged the legislature and other institutions in the electoral justice space on the need for legislative reforms. And for this, I'm happy to report, ladies and gentlemen, that we have secured an improved India legal framework through these reforms, mentioning the Political Parties Act and the Elections Act. And these reforms, as you are aware, include expanding the membership of the Political Parties Disputes Tribunal, where we got ad hoc members. And through this, we were able to decentralize the PPDT, thus deepening access to justice, because people did not have to travel to Nairobi to launch their disputes with the Political Parties Disputes Tribunal. Indeed, I can confirm that due to this expansion on the membership of the PPDT, we have had a highly improved experience in determination of pre-election disputes as compared with the experience we had during the previous electoral cycle. I think we need to appreciate that there was not much violence attached to the primaries as compared to the previous cycle, and we need really to appreciate this and commend ourselves and also the political parties, because they were able to resolve the disputes emanating from the primaries using their own political parties' internal mechanisms, and those who were aggrieved by those outcomes peacefully went to the PPDT to seek resolution of those disputes. We had 168 disputes from the primaries, which were filed at the PPDT. PPDT has completed those disputes. I think we need to appreciate them. Out of those, it's only 29 that came to the High Court. And I'm told yesterday one has been escalated to the Court of Appeal. But all these have been done in a very peaceful environment where people seek the solution of their dispute according to the law. And for this, we need to commend everybody. Other legislative reforms that the judiciary welcomes is also regarding the levels of appeals in respect to pre-election disputes, capping the levels of appeal in relation to the petitions challenging elections of the members of the County Assembly to be remitted only to the High Court, those of the members of Parliament to be remitted to the Court of Appeal, so that everybody has only one chance of appeal. This means that we now have a far improved legal terrain with respect to the resolution of all our disputes, pre-election and post-election disputes, and we are hoping to keep on improving on this. In addition to this, the judiciary also gazetted 120 special magistrates to handle election offences disputes, and they have already undertaken their training. Thank you very much to our partners again. You enabled us to train our magistrates on how to deal with election offences. They are now well equipped to handle any unfortunate incidences that may occur during this period of electioneering. And as highlighted by my brother Justice Ibrahim, the JCE is actually nearing completion of the India trainings. It is set out in its work plan. The trainings have been geared towards ensuring that all who will be involved in the EDR process are equipped with the requisite knowledge, skills, and competencies to manage and handle the EDR processes. And about security during this period of electoral disputes. As you know, the stakes are very high and the positions are limited. They are one position being sought by many people, and therefore I've been actually asking that we pray for those who will not make it. We need to counsel them. We need to encourage them to accept the faith that the position is one and it will only be won by one person. And also appreciate that they have invested heavily in that contest. And therefore they need nurturing, they need prayers, we need to walk with them this journey. So I'm certain that we will be able to work together as Kenyans, because this country belongs to all of us, even those who do not make it in those positions. God will find something for them to do, because there is always a lot to be done. So, implementing the judiciary's election preparedness work plan optimally requires that we have finances. This is something we talk about in the judiciary all the time, and it embarrasses me. It reminds me just this moment we are recruiting members for the Tax Appeals Tribunal, which was recently transferred to the Judicial Service Commission, because tribunals belong to the judiciary. And one of the candidates asked us, why is the judiciary being given another baby when it has so many babies and they are starving? They are malnourished. Then you are handing them another baby to bring to us more problems. But this is our country. We understand where we are at. It is work for all of us to ensure that even with all these budgetary constraints that we continue to face, we are doing our best. We are giving value for money and mobilizing resources to achieve the goals we have set out for ourselves. We have been actively engaging other agencies in the government, including the National Treasury, to ensure adequate resourcing of the judiciary so that at least this work of the NDR is optimally undertaken. I want to take this opportunity to once again, on behalf of the judiciary, thank our development partners that have engaged directly with the committee and express our willingness to partner to complete the work plan. We have faith that the judiciary will indeed perform its mandate, and we will not let Kenyans down as far as our mandate is concerned. I want to thank specifically IFES and the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, DFID, Electoral Law and Governance Institute for Africa, EOGIA, International Commission for Jurists, Kenya, the Attorney General Alliance, AGA Africa, which are on board as partners to JCE. You have supported various stakeholder meetings and revision of the committee's strategic plan, as well as some of our trainings. And I want to thank you and assure you of our continued partnership in this area of ensuring that we enhance our democratic values and principles, and we promote the development of the rule of law. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have emphasized before, this is the third cycle which, since we overhauled our electoral regime in 2010, this is now time for consolidation of the gains and lessons from the previous two election cycles. The IBC, as we all keep saying, is the body vested with the mandate of conducting elections, as clear guidance on the standards to adhere to and parameters within which to manage the elections, given the judiciary's interpretation of the Constitution and electoral laws in the past electoral cycles. It is therefore our expectation that the lessons from the past judicial decisions are being considered by the IBC as it prepares to conduct the elections. Notable in this respect is the Supreme Court's nullification of the 2017 presidential election. In this decision, the Supreme Court was categorical that it nullified the election because IEBC did not conduct the presidential election in conformity with the Constitution and the electoral law. The Supreme Court did not find any evidence of misconduct by the candidates, but instead saw in evidence a systemic institutional problem. More specifically, IEBC was faulted for failure to ensure that the process of transmission and declaration of results of the presidential election was verifiable as stipulated by the Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how painful it is to nullify an election. The court specified that IEBC, while discharging its constitutional mandate, must always conform with the Constitution and electoral law by ensuring that all requisite processes are simple, accurate, verifiable, secure, accountable, and transparent. Our expectation is that IEBC is consciously working to ensure its processes meet the demands of the principles of our electoral system as elaborated under Articles 81 and 86 of the Constitution. And more importantly, that IEBC will explain to Kenyans how they have been able to look into those issues that were identified by the Supreme Court as difficult. Happily for us as the Supreme Court, we are retreating for training on our preparedness, and we will be engaging IEBC on those issues that were raised by the Supreme Court, because we do not want a repeat. We also expect IEBC to have worked or to be working with the stakeholders to consolidate the progress made in integration of technology to manage election day activities and management of the results. There should be clear steps to address some of the challenges in integration of technology in voter identification and transmission of results. This will help address some of the challenges identified in the last two cycles. We are hopeful that any electoral law reforms, including review of the elections general regulations, will take into account the opinions expressed by the courts on the need for all electoral laws and regulations to conform with and promote our constitutional standards on electoral integrity and accountability. I also want to emphasize that it is important that all the processes leading to the election day that include voter registration, transfer of voters, verification, certification, and publication of register of voters should be done in a manner that promotes and ensures the complete and accurate franchise of eligible voters. I am aware, and I believe everybody is, that there is an ongoing audit of the voter register. Any emerging challenges with respect to the voter register ought to be addressed proactively in consultation with the stakeholders, including the political parties and other actors in the electoral processes. It is such a proactive approach to addressing concerns that might be raised by voters and stakeholders that ensures that our IEBC and all Kenyans become agents and champions of electoral integrity, and also engenders the confidence of Kenyans in the credibility of the electoral process. In conclusion, I want to assure our stakeholders and all Kenyans indeed that we in the Judiciary are optimally prepared to discharge our mandate in dispute resolution with respect to any disputes that may arise during the electoral cycle. All those disputes, whatever nature they are, we will reduce them into legal and constitutional problems, and we will be able to determine them according to our laws without any fear or favor, indeed as we took our oath of office. Recently, we held a day of prayer and fasting to ask God's guidance as we do this work, because we realize the challenges are sometimes bigger than us. We need divine intervention, and where we have failed, we ask God to forgive us. And I believe every Kenyan will also be confessing their sins, including IMBC, where they faltered. They will ask for forgiveness, and they will look forward to doing their work properly. All those who are aggrieved with any actions or decisions relating to the electoral process should rest assured that we have put in place mechanisms that guarantee that disputes launched before our courts or even before the political parties' disputes tribunal will be handled in a competent, fair, transparent, and expeditious manner. I urge all the duty bearers, all Kenyans, the political class, and the media to work together to make the 2022 general elections free, fair, and peaceful. It is only by working together that we will protect the right to vote, which is one of the most fundamental and cherished principles of our democracy. I thank you all for attending, for listening, and may God bless you, and may God continue to guide us and to bless this, our country, Kenya. Thank you very much.